Hey everybody, it's been a while. Haven't gotten the camera out in a long time, it seems like. Probably not seriously since I went to Yosemite, so that's been over a month. And so I decided I had a good week of working out and getting fit, so I decided this Sunday morning to get up and go take a picture of something. So I'm going to drive over here to just north of Centerville, Tennessee, and I'm going to take some pictures of this waterfall. Now, I've taken these pictures of this waterfall before, but it's early spring. Everything should be really green right now, and it's wet still, so there should be plenty of water. So I thought, not going to be, it's gray, it's kind of misty, rainy, so I don't think there's going to be much light otherwise, so I figured this would be the perfect time to get out and do that. So I am en route. I'm about 25 miles from the exit, so I'm probably a good 35 minutes from there. So yeah, and I hadn't done any video in a long time either, so I wanted to do both of those. So here we go. I'm going to get there. I'm going to stop looking at this so I can drive, even though there's nobody on the road. It's very easy driving right at the moment. So, but yeah, I'm going to see about taking some pictures, and maybe I'll bring you guys along with me. All right. Okay, so here we are. We're back here at Trace Creek. You see here the falls. I'm surprised there's not near as much water here as I expected. I would have thought there'd have been a lot more water as wet as it's been. But it's really, it's still pretty good. The thing that I'm really kind of disappointed in, even more than just the water, is a lot of times the water is all over the middle part of this, and it's really green. Not so much anymore. There's still some green spots on the side that we'll get to later, but right now, everything in the middle here is just kind of brown, you know, from the gravel. So, but we're going to make the best of it. Let's see what we can do. Okay, so here's a composition I've looked at, and I haven't really looked at this one in the past, so I'm glad that I've seen it this time. And it's probably because there's a lot less water and stuff in this area, so that's probably why I saw it. But basically, what we've got is we've got this tree and these rocks on this side sloping in, and then these rocks and everything sloping back against it, and then the falls directly behind it, and the trees hanging over it. I'm hopeful that that'll be a good shot. It looks pretty good in the camera, but let's go ahead and take one and see what it looks like. Yeah, looks pretty good. Just so you'll see, we're at f8. I've got a circular polarizer on the lens to knock down the reflection in the water, darken it down, make a little bit more contrast, also bring out some of what little color there is in the green. ISO 50, so I'm on low ISO to keep the exposure up, and then I've got shutter speed of 3.2 seconds, so that's just about right. You can I could probably speed that up a little bit to get a little more texture in the water, but I kind of like it the way it is right now. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this is why I wear these wet shoes here that I use for my kayaking, but I also wore them out here so I could get in the water. And this is a really simplified image, but I really like it. And here's what I'll tell you. I wanted to get a lower angle on the rock as the water hits it. Normally I get it standing up a little bit. I wanted the camera down closer to the water. What that does is it brings out the top of the woods in the back, and it really kind of makes for a really nice little scene there. The problem is the light in the top up in the trees is a little bit brighter than the light down here by the water. So I put in a soft grad ND filter, freestyle, to bring the light down above the falls and balance it out. And I think what we got looks really good. I took a couple of different shutter speeds. But what I like is a half second because it gives a little bit of texture in the water, but still shows the movement. That means I'm at f8, ISO 200, so I can speed that shutter speed up a little bit in a half second. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so I found this shot that I really like. Along this side, the far side of this creek, there's some gorgeous rocks and it's all covered in green moss. And while I was walking around taking some video, just moving around looking at different areas, I found this shot. It's really beautiful. You've got this big, beautiful slanted rock that leans back toward the creek. It's really beautiful. It's got a mixture of the moss and of the rock in there. It's really sharp and it's got a really cool angle. I'm going to swing around here. And it also takes the rest of what's on this side over here and angles back toward the falls. It's really beautiful. It's really green. It's nice and colorful. It works really good with the circular polarizer because it really makes that lush feeling back here. It's really gorgeous. I did put the graduated filter back on, just strictly because up top it's still just a little bit bright, but not much. I just barely got it in there, just to knock it down a hair. Where we're at ISO 100. F8 is our aperture, and about 1.3 second shutter speed. And we're underexposing just a hair, just to keep that the water from overexposing too much. We'd like just a little bit of that left in there to where it's not too bright. Let's see what we get. I'm also doing a couple of different focus areas. Because we're so close here in the foreground of these rocks, I'm doing one shot with manual focus, focusing on the rocks, and then I'm taking a second shot, manual focusing on the falls, to where we'll get everything in between. I'll merge those two images together, and to where we'll get everything in focus that we need, and it should look really good. Okay, I want to show you a little bit about focus stacking on the Sony here, just so you get an idea. Right now the image is focused, as you can see, with this red highlight. The red highlight shows where everything's in focus when you're in manual focusing mode. And you can see the focus spot's really heavy back toward the waterfall and pretty light back up here. So a lot of this detail here we may miss. So the way we set that is I'll turn the focus ring, and what it does is it gives me a zoom in. And so I'll move to where I want to focus, like right here. And then I'll move that until I see it get good and red. There we go. And see, now we see all these red streaks in here, and you move it until it moves out, and then you find that good spot where everything's as much in red as you can get it. And then you hit your shutter button halfway, and then you can see here we've got everything down here in focus. We take the shot, we let that go, it'll take the shot, 1.3 seconds. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to focus back here. So I'll turn the knob again, and I'll move my zoom back to the rocks here in front of me. And then I'll move that zoom, move my focus ring until you start seeing everything here in red. See how good red that is? And I hit this button, and now everything up here is in red. You still get a little back here, so we might get a good shot out of that. You can see everything around here is in red, so we'll take that shot. And when we hit the play, we'll zoom in. You can see everything here in this foreground. You can see the little snippet here of where this is. Everything here in this foreground is really sharp, but as you scroll up, things get softer in the back, midground and background. You go to the previous shot, zoom in, soft in the foreground, but you can start seeing everything in the midground, and in the background is really sharp. And so we'll take those two images, blend them together to get one where everything is in focus. I absolutely love that picture, and I love the manual focus on this camera. All right, so I'm wrapping up here at these waterfalls. It's been a wonderful morning. I've gotten soaked pretty good. But that's one of the reasons you come down here, right, is to get your feet wet. I think we've got a couple of good shots, but even more so, just getting out with the camera has been really good. I haven't done that in a long time, or at least not creatively in a long time, and I'm really excited about doing that. So we'll get these shots back home. We'll dry off, get some dry shoes on, and we'll see what we have in the computer and go from there. Really enjoyed you being along with us. Leave any comments you got down below. Thanks.